So if you get a piece of glass, because you can rely on it being smooth and you get a level, you put it on a surface, and if your surface isn't already level, you can just level it, which is great because you really only want to go by millimeters regardless if you're going to use the materials I'm going to advise you to use. So you put a bunch of pieces of paper underneath it until it's level. You measure how thick your papers are and you know what your grade is. Then you take those pieces of paper, you tape them up on top, and then you roll something down it and it goes over it. So in order to guide your marble, because marbles aren't all well balanced, you can just run a line of tape. And then when it gets to the end, you just put a little tape barrier and you have it go back, and you put another piece of glass next to it. And it'll roll back and forth continuously. There you have it. If you didn't know how to level the second piece of glass, well then you just raise it up to the height that you've got to, and you return down to the other side. You stack up your paper, you put a lip, and there you have it. And the thing about it is that once you get to the top of the lip, it actually accelerates faster than the initial starting point. And so you have a surplus of energy, and you cheated the system because you're starting higher than grade at that point. So it's easier to make the lip each time. Anyone can do it in like 20 minutes in your own house. Right now, you can go and do it. Proof Perpetual Motion works. Anyways, in the meantime, I've been smoking weed for like the last 2 weeks and finally out, so I'm gonna have to sober up. That's gonna be strange because the starkest reality when you're trying to sober up is that there's nothing else to do. In the meantime, our governments went beyond screening us. We just have a complete lack of services that allow us to communicate. I mean communicate in like a fundamental manner. Like you can go find some back page with like 30 people from all over the country that have absolutely no influence of their own in any way, but there's no way you can influence any community. There's nothing. We got nothing. Of course we have nothing. Perpetual motion works and our governments are just extorting us and fucking us over anyways. In the meantime, we're at the end of the season here. I have no harvest. None whatsoever. I didn't put a single plant in the ground. Like, not one. Making $20 an hour, paying my gas and eating food, and I've pretty much been starving myself. I'm losing money. $20 an hour is a living wage, paycheck to paycheck, with no surplus on top of it. And then so when $15 was brought up to a living wage, that was stupid, but that wasn't particularly the problem. That's not why we have inflation. We have inflation because the liberals are terrible in every single conceivable manner. We factually knew right from the start there was absolutely no means by which they can possibly perceived as having any potential because they had none. If the liberals would ever look to argue, oh, well, we screwed the economy, so now what are they going to do with it? That way the conservatives can't come in and do something else with it and just keep going with money. Well, they bankrupt themselves. Yeah, well, as a government, if you do good, people will re-elect you. Duh. They groom children for the last 13 years, and the consequences are actually in statistics. We can actually follow the statistics that they've actually screwed us royally. It's brutal. And I'm not talking about finances. I'm talking about grooming children has had evident effects. What are you supposed to say about that?